Welcome to Option Center's Weekend Edition. Hello, everybody. If you're new here, go down to that bottom right-hand corner, hit that Option Center logo. Today, we're going to go through SPX on multiple time frames, check out some technical analysis, Elliott Waves, and we're not just going to do it for the patrons. This is a pretty big weekly update that I want to show you a couple scenarios. So we're gonna make this full video available to everybody, but we're gonna try to shorten it up a bit so we're not going on for a half an hour or so. Name this the top. We had a top. The important part to know is, the important question is this an intermediate top or is this a major top? And we won't know that. We don't have enough information yet, so we're not going to be able to answer this. But I'm going to give you two scenarios that I'm looking at, and with more information, we should be able to game this this play here. So first of all, you know, this actually kind of supports the major top. We have the Fed. The Fed is in a bind. It's not going to ease monetary policy anymore. So the easy money is done at this time. They're pushed in a corner with inflation and with a multi-trillion-dollar deal coming out from Congress. I mean, it's gonna fuel the inflation. So the Fed, there's not much they can do at this point. That I'm aware of, at least. I'm not some Fed policy expert, but so that gives me an idea that we're either at the top or near the top of a major bull market. And you know, without getting to it too far, once the Fed stops pumping money and starts tightening to ease inflation, that's when money supply is pulled from the market and the market corrects. It happens every time in a recession. That's just what happens. Okay, so let's jump into technical analysis. Enough with fundamentals. That's not my thing. Our Elliott wave, we're on wave 5, primary wave 5, intermediate wave 4, in my opinion, at this point. There is an argument that we hit wave 5 and we're done with the bull market now. I think that we're in a corrective mode, and we'll be able to tell if we have one more leg up before a potential recession actually starts, and the market corrects on a major level. So right now, I'm counting this as intermediate 1, 2, 3, and then this is an A, expanded B, expanded C, and then we'll have one leg higher, maybe to test the top of the channel or have a throw over, and then continue to the downside at that point. The more bearish scenario is that we have 1, 2, 3, smaller 4, and 5 waves up for a 5 ending here. Now, we do have 5 waves in here, so that's possible, but we do have a potential 3 wave that could be very, very deceiving. So we'll just have to wait until. On the weekly, we're crossing a bear cross back over on the MACD, but well into bullish territory still. RSI is losing strength. Let's move down to the daily. Daily trend is our friend. Okay, here's the primary wave count in the white. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm sorry, this is the intermediate. I said primary. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now within this, we have this megaphone pattern in the turquoise that I'm laying out. That we ended wave 3 here. That we have our A, 3 wave move down. B, which there's a really small 3 wave in here, but 1, 2, 3 wave move up. And then a C will have a 5 wave move down. So either way, both scenarios, we're going to have a 5 wave move down. It's what happens after that that's going to be very telling. So right now, whether you're in the very bearish or the bearish camp, we're in a correction. We're looking for 5 waves down. I think it's going to it's going to come down to the bottom of the channel around the 382 area. We'll consider that 4170 range on the SPX. For our wave C, and then we'll continue a 5 wave move up. So we'll see. We're not gonna predict at this point, but that's what we're looking at. On the daily, we're not even gonna look at the well, you know what? Yeah, let's look at the 65 just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at here. And the real short term, even next week, this is a possible. We have 5 wave. I can count 5 waves down here, 3 wave move up for a 1-2, and then a 5 wave, 3 wave, 1-2, 1-2, and as this accelerates, so the wave, the 2 should be a much smaller. So this is a 1-2. So 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and we should start to really accelerate down. Now there is an alternate scenario for me, and that's where we'll get a nice big bounce here. Maybe retest the back trend line. I don't see that happening, but it's possible. So maybe this will be some sort of I don't know, some sort of formation to where we have a 1 and our larger wave 1 and 2 up here to retest. We'll look at that scenario as it pans out. Maybe we'll get a 61.8 scenario fib retracement, but really this isn't a impulsive look to me, as if this is 5 waves down and then a wave 2 and then we start our wave 3. It doesn't look like that to me. It looks like we're really just setting up 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then really going to accelerate down for wave 3 on a large scale there. So okay, let's move to the VIX. Let's check out the VIX futures. Still in a slight contango, but it's starting to play out. You see this wedge. We broke that wedge. We broke resistance here, so we have much more room to go to the next resistance at around 36 area and then beyond. We're not going to start guessing at that point, but once we get above 36, I mean, the sky's the limit. Then we're talking about 80, and things should be accelerating very, very quick at that point. Maybe we start to go to all-time highs on the VIX, and maybe that's the very, very bearish scenario. Going over to the SPY. SPY Daily. The volume, increasingly strong. Huge volume on this bearish move. It's just, it's really showing some confirmation that this move is real. Now we did move down to the 0 line on the MACD, so maybe this is a good point that we actually bounce. We are at the 100-day moving average, so we're pushing off of that. We had a gap here that we filled and pushed off, but we didn't regain this resistance here, so we can easily start gapping down. Once you get into wave 3, we're looking for some gap downs after that, some follow through. We really didn't get the follow through here. I know there's large candles, but it's really kind of choppy. Chop, one large candle, and then back up, back down. This really choppy move. We're actually looking for that wave 3 where you're going to get at least 3 days, a nice big candles of movement there. So if not much larger candles, maybe 2. But that's when you know that you're really pushing for that wave 3, and that's what we like to play. Are the wave 3s, 1 and 3s. Very, very heavy, I should say. Bigger positions than usual. Let's go to QQQ. We'll go to QQQ. We have this trend line down from the Corona crash. We pushed off of that, had our 5-wave move to the top, and I think this is just like the SPX where we have our A, B, expanded C down to the 38.2. But we held the trend line and this previous all-time high, and we'll look for a gap down or a bounce at this point. Maybe a dead cat bounce, but we pushed off the 80 MA and we're holding that 50-day moving average. Folks, the QQQ is what we're looking at every single day. The only stocks that have not really been touched are the mega cap stocks, and that's where we're watching them. I have puts in Microsoft, I have puts in Nvidia, Facebook, a lot of positions on mega caps. If we are going to be bearish, those are the ones that are going to start leading. I should say they're lagging at this point, but they should start leading the market down from here. IWM. This is what I show my patrons all the time, guys. And if you're interested in joining, it's really just $5 a month to get this kind of information. $10 if you want trade alerts. But we had our wave 1, 2, 3, and what I consider 4. And if this is playing out the way that I think we're still in a wave 4 where we had our W, expanded X, and Y here. So if you get a little closer, we lost this channel that we were in this channel for quite some time. Nice push off here, and we came down, lost the channel, but held this support here at the 23.6. So technically it could be done here, but we're looking for, looks like we already got a 5-wave move down. So if we're gonna really get this Y, this is probably some sort of zigzag to equal this 3-wave move. So we'll look for a 5, 3, 5, but it looks like we're ready to push back up at this point and maybe retest this gap that coincides with the 200-day moving average, and then we'll start our next 5-wave move down to finish off to the 382. Now, your very bearish scenario where the bull market is over, this would be our wave 1. This would somehow have a 5-wave move up where you had a 3, 4 triangle, and then we'd end our wave 5 up here, and this would be an impulsive wave 1. And we'll still get some sort of correction. So no matter what scenario, we're still looking for a correction, a 3-wave move up. And then at that point, you should have a massive 5-wave move down before we get a wave 4, and then 5 more waves down. So this should be a 5-wave move down if you're very bearish on this. But we can, we're bearish either way. So we're able to play off of this either way. Okay. It's one of those sweet spots to where both your scenarios work out the same way. And lastly, something else that really kind of solidifies what's happening in the market. Let's go to ZB. It's the bond futures. And I watch this pretty well. We've been in this massive channel for a long time. We pushed off that channel and have been correcting ever since. And now we are breaking out from an inverse head and shoulders or a triangle. There's many different patterns you can look. This would be our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder. Here it looks like we have a 1, 2, and we're working on wave 3, but we broke out of that last week and we're over all the MAs. It really looks like we could push to new all-time highs in the bonds. And with that, I mean, that's just fear. That's moving money to safety, and that would definitely prove our scenario correct, where we're looking for either a major intermediate top. If we get a lower high here, then maybe that was just an intermediate top, and we'll have more to go down, maybe test the bottom of the channel, and then we start talking about a rise in the bonds and the notes to where we're getting a major top in there. So that's something to look out for, you guys. I hope this all helps. If you have questions, leave comments in the comment area. Let me know. I can go over things in a video on Monday. If you have chart requests, let me know. Either way, hit that like button if this information was helpful. So thanks for joining me here at Option Center. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow.